Chevy Trucks Shooting Sports America. Brought to you by Chevy Trucks, Browning, and Federal.
While clay target shooting has its roots in international competition, the game of skeet is as American as apple pie and Chevy Trucks. Indeed, for many Americans, shooting at clay targets is synonymous with the word skeet. So stay tuned as we get ready to watch the very best skeet shooters from here and abroad as they compete in the 1994 World Skeet Championships. Hi, I'm Gritz Gresham, shooting editor of Sports Afield magazine, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this edition of Chevy Trucks Shooting Sports America. We're here at the National Gun Club at San Antonio, Texas, for the 1994 World Skeet Shooting Championships. Close to 1,000 shooters, both men and women, are competing here this year. And joining me to cover the action is fellow Sports Afield editor Tom Gresham. One thing that sets skeet apart from other clay target games is that this is truly a game of perfection. At this level of competition, you really have to shoot a perfect score just to get into the final shoot-off.
No question about it. Here at the World Championship, an almost perfect score really translates into an also-ran performance. And that's true even for the event that we're going to be covering, the 28-gauge championship. The 28 is a real pipsqueak when compared to a 12-gauge shell, the kind used in trap shooting and sporting clays. To start off, the 28 has about half the number of pellets in the shell as its big brother, the 12-gauge. In skeet, there are events in all gauges, 12, 20, 28, and 410. And when it comes to the small gauges, shooters are left with no margin of error.
We've got some great shooting coming up. There's a psychological side to every sport. And in skeet, it involves total concentration on every target, shot after shot.
It's a mental game, basically. Once you learn the basics of the game, it's keeping your concentration and being able to concentrate one target at a time for 100 targets. It's a one-target event. You have to shoot 100 targets, but one at a time.
Well, it's a tough game, and you just have to keep your head down all the time. And most times, you'll have a tendency to pick it up on one of them birds that goes up in the air on you or dives under your barrel.
But when you're on your game, those targets just turn to dust. But make a misstep in this game, and you'll likely be catching the early plane home.
The thing about skeet is that you cannot, at the high level, the AAA level, you cannot make a mistake. If you make one mistake, you're out of the competition.
In each gauge, 4 rounds of 25 targets each are shot. 100 is the perfect score.
The toughest part in breaking 100 straight, I think, is keeping that level of concentration up. This is required to get all the way through it. There's always one that'll bite you.
The toughest thing about breaking 100 straight is pure concentration throughout the whole event.
Of course, the very best competitors rarely drop a target at all, especially when the pressure is on.
This championship, I'm really doing quite well. In the 550 targets so far in the tournament, I've only missed one.
It's turning into a tight race, so stay tuned and we'll be right back with the 28-gauge shoot-off round. Even the approach of a Texas-sized storm front with high winds and rain didn't dampen the enthusiasm or competitive spirit of these shooters. Conditions grew worse as the day wore on. Nonetheless, a remarkable number of perfect scores were turned in. In the 28-gauge event today, there were more than 80 perfect rounds of 100. To the first shoot-off, we're down to an even dozen, and they're going to shoot those from the 3rd, 4th, and 5th stations, doubles.
That's right. They shoot from the toughest stations here. That's the only way they can separate these shooters. At this level, they are so good, they've got to shoot doubles from 3, 4, and 5 stations, which is really tough, particularly in these conditions. It's really getting nasty out here.
Yeah, when you get under the lights and with the rain coming down like it is now, it's going to be tough.
All right, we get rain on the glasses, you get a little glare off the glasses. It only takes one missed target, and you're out of here. Truth is, these fellas are shooting on the edge of a hurricane coming off the Pacific. That's why these conditions have dropped so quickly. The fellas that shot in the morning had great conditions. It's just like a completely different game shooting out here this evening. All right, we're down to 6 now. Now it really gets tough because the nerves start to work on you. There's a Larry Wu from Michigan. Watch how he stands there. He gets up there. He's very upright. He stands and just becomes motionless before he calls for the bird. But he makes it work.
Yes, he does. Here's Wayne Mays. His rhythm is so distinctive.
All right, Todd Bennett. No problem. Todd's shooting very quick on those birds. He's breaking them very aggressively.
Yes, he is.
Shooting on that tough station number 4 where they're taking that low house first. Oh, no, Todd Bennett. He missed that one.
Just lost that second bird.
Now we're down to only 3 shooters coming to station number 4. David Ionic. Dave's hanging in there. Larry Wu. Wu didn't have any trouble there. Here comes Wayne. The end of 25 birds. They'll take a break, and they're going to come back and start shooting again.
They're from more than 80 perfects. We came down to a dozen, and now we're down to 3.
Here we are at the final station. This has really gotten to be interesting.
It has. We're down to 3 people, and they are a different breed.
That's right. We've got Wayne Mays, who's won everything there is to win in skiing. Larry Wu, who's an All-American. And a dark horse, David Ivan, who shoots with Larry Wu, but who a lot of people around here are wondering, who the heck is this guy?
Yeah, you must know the pressure that he's feeling out there with these 2 All-Americans.
Absolutely.
And what they do here, they go into this second series. They shoot the same series that they shot before. They shoot from stations 3, 4, and 5, and they shoot doubles from all of them. This is a sudden death event. One miss and you're out.
That's right. The first target you miss, you just turn around and leave the field, because you're gone.
And that's exactly what happened to David Ivan when he missed one target of a tough, wind-driven pair. Nevertheless, it was a great run for David, who had battled through the pressure of a long shoot-off in tough conditions to take 3rd place. As it eventually had to, this championship race came down to a 2-man standoff, each shooter waiting for the other to blink. Larry and Wayne began their next series, each smoking their target from station 3. And it looked like these 2 great shooters might be at it all night. But on the very next station, Wayne missed his second target. Tough break for Wayne, but that miss gave the 28-gauge championship crown to Larry Wu. Larry, great performance. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You won this 28-gauge championship in an extended playoff, and it was an amazing accomplishment.
It sure was. Anytime you're shooting against Wayne Mays, you're in there for a duration.
Beating Wayne Mays and doing it in these nearly impossible conditions, this is one championship Larry will never forget. Coming up next, the latest Champion of Champions event from Houston, Texas.